All right, welcome to Chapter 1. We're going to be covering the basics of codes of ethics, and we're going to be having some discussions regarding the differences between ethics and laws and how they may intertwine with each other. So before we begin, I want to just briefly go through the assignments here. For this learning plan, you're going to be reading Chapter 1 of your text, which is called Issues in Ethics in the Helping Profession. You're also going to be studying the key terms for this chapter. There are case studies for Chapter 1. Now, if you're in the virtual college version of this course, it's not a case study. It's going to be just a reflection. And you're just going to choose one of the case studies and respond to it. You're also going to be reading Chapters 1 through 3 in the novel Lying on the Couch. And then you're also going to be participating in a discussion on the discussion board. And so the points will vary depending upon if you're in the virtual college version of this course or the regular online version. All right, so when we talk about ethics and we talk about laws and governing how helpers interact with our clients, it's important to distinguish between ethics and laws. So I think that we'll start off with covering the ethics. Ethics is, as you can see the definition here, the standards that govern the conduct of its professional members. So I've been working in the corrections field for about 10 years now, and there are ethics that we typically have to abide by, and that falls under our fraternization policies as well. So anything even remotely close to crossing that boundary can be considered a violation. Sometimes the ethics and laws intertwine with each other. So for instance, if a helper in the corrections field starts a relationship, an intimate relationship, or any type of relationship for that matter, outside of the working relationship, it can be considered a violation of those policies. Now, what's interesting about the field of corrections, and I guess probably most of the helping fields, is that when you violate that boundary, it also opens you up to the possibility of being prosecuted criminally and civilly. And so we have to pay close attention to how we interact with our clients and what our agency's policies are, because they are there to protect the helpers and the clients as well. So when we take a little closer look into ethics, we find that they're made up of values and morals, belief systems, and so those beliefs are based upon what is going to benefit the client the most, do the least harm, and protect both the helper and the client in the relationship. And so everyone typically has their own values, have their own morals, have their own belief systems, and sometimes those conflict with what the agency spells out as what's appropriate and what's not appropriate. And sometimes our beliefs conflict with what the law states as well. I'll give you an example of that. When I first started my career, I worked in the prison system in Illinois and Indiana. And so when I was working with some of my colleagues, a couple of them actually got into some trouble because they got into intimate relationships with the clients that we were serving. And so that not only was in violation of the agency policies, but it was also a violation of the law, and it was a violation of the institution's policies as well. And so that person ended up, of course, losing their job, and they also faced some criminal suits as well, or criminal prosecution rather. So when we talk about ethics and laws, it's very important that we understand, first of all, what are our beliefs, what are our values that guide us in life, and how will they guide us in this interaction with our clients. And it's important to know that. And then how do those intertwine with the agency's policies? How do those intertwine with the laws on the books that govern how we can interact with these clients? And so it's very important that all those areas come together and are on the same page. All right, so you're going to see some terms here that you need to take a look at as you read through the chapter. Some interesting terms here on how ethics are governed and what categories they fall under. So you're going to do the case studies, and then you're also going to participate in the learning plan discussions. So if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. Otherwise, we'll see you on Learning Plan 3.